413-572-8646.
Wednesday mornings from 6 till 8, it's Tina Gorman with Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
They do not reflect the views of Westfield State University, the Westfield Student Radio Club, our underwriters, or most sane people. And now,
you know what, Pete?
What's going on, Ken?
I love lifts.
Oh, boy.
They put order to life. They help me with my OC issues. At any given time, you can walk into my kitchen, and I will have at least 3 lifts on the island.
Ooh.
Well, guess what? I've got another list.
Oh, boy.
Let's see how quick it takes you to figure out what the list is about.
Okay.
Christina Aguilera, Taylor Swift, James Taylor, Steven Tyler, Scott Stapp,
frontman,
Michael Bolton, Vince Neil, Kat DeLuna, Jesse McCartney, R. Kelly, Aaron Lewis, Cyndi Lauper, Jamie Foxx, Roseanne Barr.
Oh, wait a minute. World Series,
now,
American, yeah.
Really
oh, say,
bad.
can you see?
And now, Fergie.
Really
say,
bad.
can you see? Yes.
Pete, make sure I'm potted up, by the way. Oh, why can't people sing the national anthem the way it is supposed to be sung? Sure, some of these folks just botched up the lyrics. A simple solution to that? A teleprompter, just like Barry. Or write down that tricky line on the inside of your hand. Most of the time when somebody tries to embellish or change up the anthem, it goes horribly wrong. Or it just sounds ridiculous. I first started to notice it in the 90s when hip-hop artists would perform the anthem. When you wave your pitch and try to hold out that last note, it sounds like your brain is having a seizure. Francis Scott Key must be flipping around in his grave. I've sung the anthem. I sing it as it should be. And it does not sound bad. Granted, I have a tad of vocal talent, which helps. But I don't send cats running under the bed or give cause for weeks of humiliation on social media. We know you have artistic talent. You don't need to show off. You look like an idiot when you do so. Follow what we tell the Patriots. Do your job. Do your job and sing the anthem. Don't try to figure out how to add your own touch to it. Don't change the tempo. For those of you who have no idea what might have set me off enough to bring this up, let's take a listen to Fergie performing the anthem this past weekend.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wave at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly.
That's enough, Pete. Fade me down. Actually, I have one more thing to add to that.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? I'll kill that. You can leave me up.
Oh, okay.
Whoa. I kind of like that.
Whiskey,
song.
Tango, Foxtrot.
It got to the end, it got worse.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Oh.
Fergie should stick to singing about all her humps. I think my point has been made. Let's pay our bills. We'll be back right after this.
Oh, God.
Support for community programming on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. Visit bettsplumbing.com or 14 Coleman Avenue, Westfield. Public welcome.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Commercial Distributing Company of Westfield. Now in its third generation of family ownership, Commercial is one of the premier beverage distributors of Western Massachusetts. The Plasek family and the staff of Commercial Distributing wishes you good times throughout the year and urges you to drink responsibly. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Wally Computer Associates, one of the largest technology providers in North America. Headquartered in Southwick, Wally provides all of the products and services that you'd expect from a world-class technology partner to schools, colleges, businesses, as well as state and local governments and agencies. Wally Computer Associates, meeting all of your technology needs. On the web at WCA.com. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Wednesday mornings start off right from 6 to 8 a.m. with Tina Gorman and Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
8:21 on the nose here on this 20th day of February in the year 2018. Anno Domini. This is the Den, Ken's Den. I'm Ken Stomsky. In front of the Radio Millennium Board is Kitten of the Keys, Chairman Meow, the February fan favorite, Peter Coles.
It's the nicest thing we ever said about him.
Yeah, right.
Side chick.
Shortest month of the year.
Side chick,
Side
Kathy
chick.
Palmer.
Here I am. I be
the playwright
here.
of the
I'm a
month.
Playwright of the month, and we start play rehearsal tonight.
Yeah, what are you playing?
For the mystery dinner at the Athenaeum, which will be on March 10th, with a meal from Emma's, and tickets are on sale as we speak.
Good. And maybe we'll talk about that later because right now...
Oh, what is it?
Oh, no.
Get ready, Kath. One more week of Big Brother.
This is it.
Oh, my God.
Next week when we talk about Big Brother, we'll be talking about who won.
Oh, my gosh.
So let's go over...
I missed the Olympics last night. I missed the last night of figure skating. I did.
I recorded figure skating last night. It was the final for ice dance.
Yeah, right, exactly right. Yeah, I missed it.
Yeah, I'm confident enough in my manhood to say that I watched the ice dancing. I also watched the women's short and long,
me too.
and the pairs actually.
This is Cock and Locker.
But I record the Olympics because I want to watch Big Brother.
Yes.
Since last week, since last week, Shannon left the house.
Shannon Elizabeth, that famous star. You know who
famous,
she is?
Yeah, right. No, I never. No.
What was it? Was she a Hawaii 5-0 or Beverly Hills 206?
No, she was 206. She was in those movies about band camp.
What is it? Oh, band camp?
What was that movie called?
Those, yeah.
What was the name of those movies? How forgettable they were.
Well,
yeah, they were forgettable.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, she's a big star and she's off.
She's
Big
off.
Brother.
And then, of course,
I'm surprised because she's an incredible poker player.
Oh, she's great, and she's a smart. The reason why she's off is she's such a good Big Brother
she understands
player.
the game.
She plays it.
Omarosa's
she's a fan.
Omarosa is still. there.
I told you she's gonna win the whole thing.
Yeah. So of course you have the head of household competition when somebody goes out, and Shannon went out.
Yeah.
Omarosa won the head of household competition.
Yeah. Way! Yeah. She was able to sit on this, what do you call, tilting chair.
Yeah.
Without hurting herself for over an hour and a half. Everybody else.
Because she has a big badunkadunk. That's what held her in place.
That's what everybody said. But
I'm not just saying it. No haters out there. No hate mail. No bad email.
No.
Everyone on the show said that she had a big badunkadunk, and that's
including herself.
That's why
they're on point.
That's why she was able to stay in that chair.
Never. I always say it's good to have padding back there.
Kathy, I tried watching this show. I really did. I gave it an honest effort. and my significant other Louise, who also likes the show, can't get into this one.
Really? Oh gosh.
Oh, Pete, that's good to know. I still have company.
You know, if you're a real Big Brother person,
I did.
This is probably one of the best little short seasons ever. It's it's a real treat for hardcore fans.
Just this week.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah, Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Sunday again. Saturday and Sunday, maybe. I think, isn't that right?
We've got.
Maybe 5 more episodes.
No.
What, is there more?
No.
3 episodes? Oh, you're going to... Okay.
I'll get to it.
All right, tell me.
Oh, my God. Who the hell cares?
All right, go ahead. Kenny.
We can't talk about the upcoming episodes until we talk about what's gone on.
Oh, yeah, that's
so,
true.
Omarosa is head of household.
Yeah.
Who does she put up on the block?
She puts James...
Nope.
No.
She puts Ross and Brandy up.
Oh, that's right.
Her two biggest competitors.
Ross Matthews, the big famous intern from Jay Leno's program.
And the house drunk.
And the lush.
One of the Real Housewives. Yes.
And if you actually watch the show, you see,
does she drink a lot? Constantly.
Yes.
Pretty much constantly. You'll almost.
It's open bar.
You'll always
she can't
see
resist.
like a mimosa in her hand or something all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
But she never ever is over the line.
They don't. That's.
Have you seen that in the off hours?
That's editing, Bob.
Really? You've seen her drunk?
Oh yeah. Big time.
Really?
And you can actually go to YouTube and you could search for Celebrity Big Brother live feeds.
Yes.
And people have recorded them, and you can watch Brandy making an idiot out of herself.
Really?
Yeah. She is.
She tried to sleep with anybody?
She tried to sleep with a gourd. A squash.
Oh my!
She started to. She actually made out with it and actually got up on top of it.
Oh, for God's sake!
She tried to ride.
I'm surprised she didn't hook up with Meta World Peace.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's a really nice guy and a smart guy.
How do you think he's smart?
Is he still on the show?
Last night, he's
an adult.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. Tell what happened last night.
So.
Oh, please do.
After we know Ross and Brandy went up, that was it, because I couldn't tell anything from the live feeds as to what was going to happen next, because the next step, the veto, was live last night.
Right.
And America got to vote on what they were going to do for a veto.
Yes.
And
what gift they were going to give.
The gift was going to be the VIP veto.
Right.
And the VIP veto meant you can take 2 people down if you want.
Right. Take 2 people off the block, and then the person who is head of household has to choose people to replace the 2 people you've taken off the block.
So Ross ended up winning the VIP veto.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he took himself off.
He took himself off. Omarosa put Meta up in place because he pulled a Rudy Huxtable. He wanted to go home.
Yes, yeah. That Rudy was on the show earlier.
I remember that.
She wanted to go home because she missed her kids or something about
she wasn't lactating.
Yeah. Well.
And Meta just wanted to go home because he didn't know how to play. I mean.
Oh, but he's a smart guy. In the conversation.
He's an adult.
Oh, I liked him a lot. He's a very nice person.
So we have 3
but
more.
But it ruined. I mean, it was stupid. This guy, sort of like Rudy leaving.
He didn't know how to. He didn't know how to play the game at all.
They leave. They have the. That's not playing the game.
He didn't know how to play the game.
Yeah, well,
period.
True. He didn't know what the game was.
No.
To begin with.
No, he didn't know what a backdoor was.
No. There it is. Take it. All right, so we left.
Adult.
Okay.
All right, 3 more episodes. One is tomorrow or Thursday. Friday.
Yeah.
Is a double eviction.
Right.
All right. And then Sunday is a 2-hour finale. 3 celebrities go home in that one episode.
On which?
On Sunday.
On Sunday.
And then the jury votes.
Oh, this is
so it's tomorrow or Thursday and Friday and Sunday, and then that's it. And then next Tuesday we'll be talking about it.
Right. So next Tuesday, who do you think? I'm surprised. You ask everybody who they want to win, and everybody, all those celebrities that are coming off are saying Ross. Mm-hmm. They think Ross should win.
I picked him day one.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm really glad.
You really should have, because he's the token.
He's the token gay guy. I know that. I know. Yeah. But he also he's a very good player.
He is a good player. He knows the game.
Yeah. I would think that Omarosa, if she's around at the end, should probably win because she should have been off the first episode.
Yeah, but you have to rely on your peers' votes.
Oh, I know. And they're not going to vote Omarosa.
And Omarosa had a hand in getting a lot of those people out, and Ross didn't.
Oh, yeah. So do you think if it boils down to Ross Matthews and Omarosa, it's the final two?
I think it's Ross.
It's going to be Ross. Because he's most in need of $250,000. Right?
No, because he's most worthy of winning the competition.
Well, all right. I still think Omarosa should win. I can't wait to see. All right, this is
this is completely opposite here. All right, knowing where Bob stands, he should be all for Ross and totally against Omarosa.
I know.
Yeah, it sounds like you're rooting for Omarosa. Are you switching sides?
Omarosa is the best reality player in the business. Period.
She's a lovely.
That's why she can't exist in real life.
She even hiked her book this week. Or what? She's gonna. She said, "I can't wait to put my story down."
She's playing the entire American public.
Yes, I love it.
Now you're finally around on my side.
No, I love her. I've turned out. I'm going for Omarosa. All right.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So we're gonna. It's CBS. We're gonna tune in tomorrow.
It's tomorrow or Thursday.
By the way, the Olympics this year are so boring.
Oh, no, they're not.
I'm finding the curling totally awesome.
They're so boring. Oh, my God. There's no good storylines in the U.S. side.
Oh, but
it's so boring that the morning news isn't even covering on Channel 22. They have a live reporter they can go to every single day in Pyeongchang, and they're not using any.
Could it be that we're not winning? Maybe that's it.
Well, I've got the Olympic Mix channel, so I'm watching a bunch of competitions all at once.
Boring.
Oh, yeah.
Boring.
That's exactly right.
But then when the curling comes on, I switch the audio over to curling.
Boring.
Curling.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm out of here. I got to go home. I Live with Kathy and Regis is on it.
Regis hasn't been on in 12 years,
I know.
Bob.
Who is it? No. It's Live with Kathy. What's her name? Kelly and. Who's that guy? Ryan Seacrest.
Ryan Seacrest.
Kelly and Ryan.
My God, Bob.
I'm going out. I'm going to volunteer. I got lunch. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to see you next week, and we'll talk Big Brother. And then you guys will be relieved. You won't have to talk about that.
Oh, no, we'll be disappointed, Peter, won't we? It'll be over.
Sure.
When's our next Big Brother episode?
I'll find something else to talk about. Don't worry about that.
Will.
Yeah.
All right, Bob, get out of here and go volunteer.
Bye.
Bye, honey. Have a good day.
Yeah.
WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley, with convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut. Visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
It's Tuesday morning from 6 till 8. Wow, it's Tuesday with Bob Plass.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
8:36 in the morning. It is the 20th day of February. It's the year 2018 Anno Domini, and this is The Den. Ken's Den, and I'm Ken Stomsky.
You are.
I am. And you are Peter Coles. I have side chick Kathy Palmer in his house, and my guest this week, Chef John Slattery.
Morning, Ken.
Good morning. So you were on Mass Appeal again the other week.
Yeah, I did a segment the day before opening day of the Olympics.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I figured that's what we'll chat about first off. All right, because the Olympics are here, we'll talk about Korean food because the Olympics are in Korea right now. And is that not what you made when you were over at Channel 22?
Yeah, in honor of the Olympics, I decided that I would try and make something regional. So as I did a little more research into Korean cuisine, it came up that they pretty much just eat everything that they could find. But what's really neat is...
If it moves or crawls or grows...
If it's meat, they cook it in one way, and they put it in a bowl. And if it's vegetables, they cook it another way, and they put it in a bowl. And then they put a table full of condiments out and go at it. So
it's a free-for-all.
That's the big thing with the Korean diet. There's always a ton of condiments on the table.
That's definitely what it is, because the meat itself may not have much flavor, or could have been an animal that you may not necessarily want to eat, but they eat them anyway. So, lots of flavors, lots of spices, lots of things to cover the game taste, and because most game animals taste like the food that they eat, so you got to add spices. So there's a lot of hot spices, a lot of warming spices, some bitters, and things like that in their cuisine, which is really nice. So I did a pork barbecue, and they do like a high heat cooking. So it was a simple marinade, similar Asian with some soy and garlic and red pepper flake and those sorts of things, and then just
so you're getting a little bit of the tangy and the hot.
Yeah, all into them, and then they just boom that into a real hot pan.
A little belt of umami.
Well, oh, mommy, what?
not oh, mommy, umami.
Yeah. And so and then they're really big on the side dishes. So I made a nice pile of a pork barbecue, and then I did some bean sprouts with like a rice wine vinegar style marinade that is very popular, and then I did the daikon radish as a pickled like ginger dish on the side, and those are all really nice. So,
the rice wine vinegar, do you use the seasoned or unseasoned?
Usually unseasoned.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I kind of knew that, but I'm interviewing here, so I have to ask things like that. You also mentioned bean sprouts. Now, those are something that you don't really want to just take right out of the package and add to your pan.
I did. Well, if you're cooking them, it's not so bad, but because the thing with bean sprouts is that they're grown in a moist, dark environment, and sometimes they have the potential where they could pick up something growing on them that you don't want to eat. So,
yeah. Let's call the dark, moist environment what it is. It's a basement in New York City where they grow them.
Well, there's obviously you can look on how it's made on the internet. They'll show you the forests of how they grow sprouts. But anyway, so just they highly recommend because they're great and crunchy, and you want to eat them fresh, but just dipping them in boiling water for about 15 seconds, and then shocking them in cold water again to make sure that they are good to eat. Because you look at them and they look so crunchy in the bag, and you just want to eat them, but food safety is important. So,
So you did mention Korean barbecue, which I believe is bulgogi.
Bulgogi, usually beef, and I did pork, so it was bulgogi.
And very, very popular in Korea. As a matter of fact, over here stateside, you'll see most or a lot of Korean restaurants in your travels where they'll boast about their Korean barbecue on the outside. That has to be one of their more iconic dishes outside of kimchi.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really not about the meat. It's about the establishment and the condiments that they present on the table along with it. Because the meat can be great, but then it's usually just served with a plain rice and a vegetable. But it's the wow flavor of their culture for all the condiments and spices.
Right. I'm reminded now of the actual national dish of Korea, which is not kimchi. All right. Kimchi is their most popular condiment, which is eaten at every meal. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. There are great antibodies involved with it. Korean barbecue, yes, is popular, but... and I'm sure you probably looked into this or you're at least familiar with it. Bibimbap.
I'm familiar with it.
Isn't that a sandwich?
No.
That's a banh mi.
You think of banh mi, which
okay.
is Vietnamese. Bibimbap is a mixture of everything in a bowl. And you have the rice in the middle and then vegetables and whatnot surrounding the outside. And that is actually the national dish of Korea.
So it's their idea of shepherd's pie.
It's a bowl.
Throw
full of
everything
stuff.
together.
It's a Korean barbecue with all the condiments and spices and vegetables
Kind
in
of.
one bowl. Basically,
Yeah.
a similar profile.
Similar. Somebody not knowing could look at both dishes and say, "Oh, it's the same thing."
I do have a question, though, not being a foodie, as you two experts are. When you say condiments on the side, what condiments would they be having?
Like a relish or a chutney or a dish of spices or a mole sauces, different spices. So it'll be little dishes with shredded.
I was just interested in the flavors that they were and the spices that they use, or
Everyone, a lot of the vinegars, the spices, some sweetness in a few of them, some hot, different, so that you can kind of mix and match for flavor profile and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And they use that with almost every meal they have, or
every meal. There's always an assortment of condiments on the table. Other cultures are like that too. There's a local restaurant that serves Vietnamese food, and if you go on their table, you'll see they'll have all these little sauces and garlic and pickles and different little things to go with the food that they serve. It's quite
There
nice.
you go, Kath. There's kind of like the
that's what he's talking
traditional,
about.
Oh, picture, yeah.
The visual helps now, right?
That doesn't work for people who need to separate their food, does it?
No, not at all.
And it doesn't work. It doesn't work really well for Guy Fieri.
When it's presented to you, it's all separated, but you're supposed to mix it up and do what you want. But you can see how that kind of roughly resembles the Korean barbecue.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Doesn't work for Guy Fieri.
Why do you say that?
Egg.
Oh yeah, there's an egg on it. How could he have come this far and have such an aversion to egg?
I don't like eating regular eggs either.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, though.
They're on sale for 99 cents a dozen right now. I bought 3 dozen.
I've gotten to the point where I can handle scrambled eggs, but that's about it.
Wow, I'm pickling like 24 of them this next weekend after they sit for a while.
Yeah, I don't eat regular eggs. Like,
now that I think of it, Pete and I have been out for breakfast many times. Never seen.
I've gotten to an omelet.
An omelet, but I think maybe once I've seen him with an omelet. It's usually something else.
Yeah.
Eggs have their place, but
I don't like tapioca either.
No, that's a common not a lot.
And I think part of that's texture. No, that's texture for me.
Do you have any aversions?
Not a big lamb fan.
Okay, all right. Yeah. There's a unique taste to it.
Yeah, but something about eating a sweater. No, but, everybody has a flavor profile. It's a unique flavor, and it's great with garlic and rosemary and stuff like that. It makes it pop. It's just not something that I go out and I'm dreaming of lamb. Not happening. So.
Yeah, I'll do like a lamb kebab or something, or I'll have it in gyro or something, but a chop or something, because I'm not a big fan of the mint or rosemary profiles, which both go with lamb. I could take it or leave it. I don't hate it, but And I get it. I get it.
Anecdotally, though, you talk about aversions. As a child, I was averse to condiments of typical American fare: ketchup, yellow mustard, and mayonnaise. I thought that they were, and I think it stemmed in my mind from the knowledge of things sitting out in the sun at barbecues and ketchup and mustard and mayonnaise. So it just went along as a child. I was like, and even to my adult life, ketchup wasn't a condiment that I use like normal people like to dip French fries and stuff like that. And I only use ketchup to make barbecue sauce, and stuff like that. And yellow mustard, I still to this day don't do anything with. But
yellow mustard is for that was created by the devil.
Yeah.
I can't.
Oh no,
I can't stand it.
I love it.
At the minimum, deli mustard.
Right. At
the minimum, deli mustard.
I've grown in my life. I could accept deli mustard, and I really like it. And now I really like a whole grain mustard, or I blend a whole grain with a partial grain and add my own wine, that kind of stuff. But
I'm kind of halfway there with them. I prefer a mustard with some zip over just plain yellow mustard.
And as a child, I wouldn't eat regular mayonnaise. I thought it tasted gross, but I loved Miracle Whip.
I was Miracle Whip all through my life, and about 10 years ago, I converted over. But I have both in the fridge, depending on what I'm going to have. If I'm going to have a liverwurst sandwich, I'll use the Miracle Whip instead of the mayonnaise.
Again, so I didn't use mayonnaise on a lot of my sandwiches throughout my life. But when I started doing restaurants, and I made this awesome club sandwich, and I would always put dressing in a club or something like instead of mayonnaise. But I made a mistake, and I took my first bite of a club sandwich with mayonnaise and everything in it, and I was like, I can see why they would use regular mayonnaise. So we all grow from the things we learn as a child and our versions to experimenting.
And then eventually you take that ketchup and you mix it with the mayonnaise and you have fry sauce, which we don't have around here. And I learned about that when I was traveling around. And
I've done that.
Yeah, the friendlies outside of this area bring you fry sauce with your French fries. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. It's not good for me, but it's pretty good. 8:47 in the morning. We have to pay our bills. We'll be back right after this.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes & Noble College Bookstore at Westfield State University, right here in the Ely Campus Center. Whether you're a student, faculty member, or friend of the university, it's the place to shop. Everything from Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise to all of your academic needs. Offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Visit the bookstore on campus or online at www.westfieldstate.bncollege.com. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Comcast and Xfinity.com. With the Xfinity Double Play and Xfinity Triple Play, you can choose to bundle Comcast services for a great value. Experience Xfinity TV, Internet, home phone, and home security services. Explore all that Xfinity has to offer in the Westfield area on the web at Xfinity.com.
Underwriting for WSKB's community radio programming is brought to you in part by CrossFit Swarm, offering CrossFit, BX, Body Express, boot camp style classes, as well as SwarmFit cardio fitness classes, incorporating fitness moves and choreographed to fun, upbeat music. CrossFit Swarm's coaches provide the most current, highest quality training, nutrition, and fitness programs. On the web at CrossFitSwarm.com or at 4 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Discussions of local politics, events, happenings, and miscellany potpourri. Ken's Den, Tuesday, 8 to 10.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Turn me up, open my mic, and wait for it. It's 8:53 on the nose.
I thought you were going to play something.
Oh, you know what? Usually I do at that point, don't I?
Yes, this is usually the break where you play a commercial.
Do I?
Yes.
Do I usually? What would I play? You know, we're talking about food. So how about something about food?
Hey, Brian, can I have some wheat thins?
What?
Can I have some wheat thins?
They're wheat thins.
That's what I said, wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Why are you putting so much emphasis on the H?
What are you talking about? I'm just saying wheat thins.
Say wheat.
Wheat.
Now say wheat thins.
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 No, you can't have any.
Have any what? Have any wheat thins?
It's wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Wheat thins.
Can I be in your commercial?
No, it's our thing. We're doing it.
Oh, boy.
And I'll have a side of Cool Whip, too.
Cool Whip.
Whip.
Actually, we used to teach
Say
the
whip.
difference.
Say whip. Whip. Say Cool Whip. Cool Whip.
Oh, God.
If you put your hand in front of your mouth, you should feel breath coming out on the WH.
Whip.
Whip. That's how
I
you
do.
teach it.
I do.
Whip. You into whips? Whip.
This is the Whip City.
Or W.
We were just talking about
Whip.
Miracle Whip.
There you go.
Miracle Whip.
Yes, Miracle Whip.
It's a whip. Miracle Whip.
Okay. Because they have no idea what we're
It's
talking
Tuesday.
about now, but
it's
oh well.
Tuesday morning in Westfield, I think, folks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it is. So we've been talking food for the first half hour here.
Yes, and it's also Olympic time. So we have different flavor profiles from around the world, not just Korea, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
here comes a quiz.
Here we go.
This is not a quiz. It's just a conversation. All right.
Uh-huh.
We are used to the flavored potato chips we have in this country.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Of course, Lay gone crazy lately, but anyway.
Yeah.
Well, across the globe.
Yeah. Other countries have their own unique flavors for chips.
Okay.
So I figure I'd go over a couple of different flavors.
Oh, boy.
And see if you can determine where they're from.
Oh, dear.
Why not?
Okay,
It sounds
go
like
for
fun.
it.
Now, some of them are going to be really obvious. I mean, really, really obvious. As a matter of fact, I'll do the obvious one first. Haggis and cracked black pepper.
You know, Scott.
Yes. These Mackey's chips taste like Scotland's national dish, haggis.
Why? Dear God, why?
A savory pudding made from sheep organs. Bonus for vegetarians, they're meat-free.
By pudding, they mean sausage, by the way. Don't go thinking it's dessert or good.
And the Brits, when they say pudding, they're talking about black or white sausage, basically. Yeah, which is not made from the same stuff that we make ours from. Okay, Guinness is another obvious one, right?
Irish potato chips.
Yeah.
Flavor.
Really? Why would you have Guinness? It tastes like mud anyways. Why would you want to eat mud chips?
These chips are flavored with the same type of barley and hops used in Guinness Stout.
Huh.
Right.
So Guinness flavored chips
Well, there's really
in Ireland.
not hop flavor in Guinness either, so I'm interesting.
Where do you think fruit chutney flavor comes from?
Fruit chutney?
Fruit chutney potato chips.
Again, never mind.
I know why. Why? The question
Fruit
is why.
chutney
Comes from...
is
Drum
a
roll here.
pantry staple in South Africa for more than a century. All right, and fruit chutney flavored potato chips are a common snack there. Fruit chutney flavored chips.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
Yogurt and herb. You stand a fighting opportunity.
You are a Greek freak.
No, you're not.
India?
No, but Pete was closer regionally.
No.
Really?
No
Yogurt
clue.
and herb flavored
No
chips.
It's not Greek?
No, but it's next door.
Turkey?
Yes.
Why would it be Greek? though?
Well, Greek has their own yogurt.
You'll find yogurt sauce drizzled over meat, grains, and veggies throughout the Mediterranean. So it's a logical flavor choice for this snack sold in Turkey. So I guess it's Mediterranean, but they're blaming Turkey for that one.
Okay.
They're blaming Turkey.
Adobadas.
Definition, please.
Adobadas. Or is it adobadas? I think it's adobadas.
Adobadas?
Yeah.
Central America?
Close. A little more north. Mexico. It refers to meat simmered in a spicy red chili sauce. See, I think it's played off of adobo.
Yeah, that's what
Probably.
it is.
Yeah. Oh, here's an interesting one. But the title gives it away. Pork sausage and English mustard.
Let me think
Can't
about
make this
that.
up.
You have them in the pub.
Are these all major brand?
Pretty much,
Yeah,
yes.
that's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Say that one again. Pork sauce.
Pork sausage and English mustard.
In the pub.
These chips are inspired by barbecues in England, where sausages and mustard are as classic as burgers and ketchup in the U.S.
But potato chips there are French fries, so this messes the whole...
Chips are fries over there.
They actually call these potato crisps.
Crisps. And they are labeled as crisps on the bag. Yeah.
Crisps.
Hey, Guy Fieri, fried egg flavored.
Uh-oh.
Fried egg flavored?
Fried egg flavored.
I would have no
potato
clue on
chip.
that one. Is that America?
No, it's not America. None of these are American. Spain.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Fried egg flavored chips are popular in Spain, where eggs, pan fried in olive oil, are commonly eaten for lunch and dinner. You would not survive well over there, Pete.
My favorite flavor
I'd probably
of
have to
potato
adapt.
is when I hand make the potato chips with the potatoes from Hatfield, and we fry them up, and then I use my rib rub that I use on my barbecue ribs, and I dust that onto potato chips. And
They make barbecue
From
potato chips.
Hatfield.
basically barbecue
You know,
potato chips, but they're just yummy.
He's talking about the chef potatoes from Swaz.
Swaz has great potatoes. They're a great family up there, and we're using their potatoes for years. But there's a certain potato that I use, this white potato, that makes by far the finest chip that I've ever tasted.
One of my friends, when I was living up there, his wife was one of the Swazes. So I'd go over to his house, and she'd be just chopping up French fries or freedom fries or whatever you want to call them, and just making them nonstop. As soon as they'd come out of the oven, we'd be devouring them. Just having them things like 2 seconds out of the ground was incredible.
A very good friend of mine just passed away. He had a popular French fry stand in Western Massachusetts for 30 years, and he always used that same white potato everywhere. And
Yeah.
they're great stuff.
Yeah, Swaz has awesome potatoes. 901 WSKB. I've got 3 more of these to go over, but I'm going to do that after the break. We'll be back right after this.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. Visit on the web at baystatedental.com. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
discussions of local politics, events, happenings, and miscellany potpourri. That's what you'll find on Ken's Den, Tuesdays from 8 till 10.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
9:06 on the nose, Pete.
There you go.
You're not giving me any halves today.
Sorry.
No halves.
We either hit them all or we don't.
This is the 20th day of February. This is the year 2018 Anno Domini. This is Ken's Den. I am Ken Stumpsy. Peter Cole's behind the board. Side chick Kathy Palmer in the house. And guest Chef John Slattery is in the studio today. Right before the break, we were talking about different flavors of potato chips, trying to figure out where, in fact, the origin was for some of these. So I have like three more. We left off with fried egg, which yeah, I've got to try that.
Can we just you probably order it on Amazon if you look hard enough.
Probably.
Bet you can.
Or yeah, Amazon or eBay. Ketchup. Where did ketchup chips come from?
We had those here for a while, though.
Yeah, Kerr, Kerr was a brand that would carry them
out of Pennsylvania. Yep.
Yeah. But they've been up.
Utz has some good ones too.
Yeah.
They've been up in the Great White North, for years and years and years. It's a classic snack. Up in Canada, you'll find ketchup-flavored seasoning on the grocery shelves up there, too. You were talking about ketchup earlier.
Like a dehydrated, like a sprinkle. Ketchup sprinkle.
Yeah.
Great.
That actually sounds pretty good. If you like things on the salty and vinegary side.
My son just challenged me to make dehydrated honey mustard powder.
Okay.
Which is dehydrating the ketchup for the same reason. You want all those flavors, but you want to be able to dust it onto something.
That's why I like the buffalo rub.
Yeah.
Same thing, just dehydrated buffalo hot sauce.
Yeah.
Ketchup chips. So those actually are my favorite chips. I have friends who were going up to Canada all the time, and they'd always bring them back. And now I'm craving.
I think Utz still has them.
I've never seen Utz with ketchup.
Yeah, I think they have a deal with Heinz.
You know what's hard to find now and then from Utz is the crab chip.
Yeah. Well, I've been to the Utz store.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it?
It's in York, Pennsylvania.
Oh my!
And it's this huge room of all of their chips and like barrels of stuff, and you can buy a barrel of cheese balls for like $6.
Now I'm craving all things potato, French fries, chips.
That's why I picked up my snack helmet.
Home fries.
I have an NFL. I have an NFL
all
helmet.
Things potato.
I have an NFL helmet with a huge bowl in the middle, and then where the face guard is, it has 2 dipping trays.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's awesome for
I'm
parties.
a chip eater.
For parties. Yeah.
Love chips.
Nori flavored.
Japan.
That's what I would have guessed. Kathy doesn't know what nori is.
No, I don't.
I think I've heard of it, but I don't know exactly what the flavor is.
It's seaweed.
Okay, yeah. All right. I knew that. No, I didn't.
Thailand.
That would make sense.
All right.
But I actually
think Thai would be something spicy.
I actually would have picked Japan too for nori as well.
Right.
Doesn't quite, and it looks like Lay's actually.
Oh yeah.
It looks like their logo.
They're a global company.
It doesn't say Lay, but it's their logo. One more to go. Truffle fries.
France.
Yes, France.
Yeah. Well,
how'd you beat the chef to that one?
I want to know what the equivalent.
That makes sense.
I want to know the weight amount of truffle flavoring in that bag and how much they cost.
It's probably chemically induced. It's not the real deal.
France is home to some of the priciest truffles. It is also said the land of truffle oils and condiments. These chips are made with truffle-flavored seasoning.
There you go.
Right.
So
remember, good mid-level price truffles go for about $400 an ounce.
An ounce. Yeah. And those aren't even the fancy ones that the pigs
and they're
find,
just
right?
fungus.
Those are even more expensive.
Yeah,
it's just fungus.
It's fun, isn't it, though?
Yeah.
Tasty fungus.
And the more expensive ones, pigs have to find for you.
The mushroom couldn't figure out why he got kicked out of the bar. He said, "What? I'm a fun guy."
Oh God! Boom.
Hey Pete, who's going to be quicker to that?
Locker.
We have some pretty strange chips here now. They brought out a lot of. I think Lay's brought them.
It was a
out, didn't
contest. They
that it?
invited the public to come up with flavors, and so the chicken and waffles and all the ones some of the ones he talked about even were test
Cheeseburger,
marketed.
bacon cheeseburger or something.
Biscuits and gravy. I saw. Yeah, a little bit.
Did you try any of those?
No, I'm not into chemicals.
Hey, I think we might have a food expert on the phone. Who are we talking with? Good morning. It's
talking to Ed. You're talking to Ed. Good morning to you.
Hey.
I actually got a joke. I love potato chips, by the way. And man, we have this the snack machine that has the guy comes in and fills it full of chips, and man, I had hot dogs and ketchup. Chips were awesome. I don't know if it's us that made them or not. I forgot who the brand was.
Hot dogs and ketchup.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that one.
God,
Yeah.
it's delicious. And okay, ready? What did one potato chip say to the other potato chip?
What did one chip say to the other potato chip?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you
Tell me.
Frito-Lay? Are you Frito-Lay?
Oh boy!
All right, well, that's the end of that one. Goodbye, caller. It wasn't bad enough to dump, but
No.
yeah. I know a couple other jokes.
One joke
around
maximum.
that. Yep. So mac and cheese was another one of their flavors, if I remember right.
You know how they come up with these flavors, right? They're people in labs.
Yeah, there's
with
chemicals.
beakers
Yeah.
full of chemicals, and they just all day long they put them together and say, "What's this smell like? What does this taste like?"
Right.
It's
I
pretty-
saw that. There was the food show, the one with the guy from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay,
he did one on that.
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yeah, he did one when he was doing Unwrapped. They were talking about the food people that
Actually,
make the flavorings.
that would be Unwrapped 2.0.
Yes, correct. It's true.
Got to be
He's
correct
right.
here. But I hate the. I'm not going to plug anyone here, but there's a discount place that maybe like a railroad salvage or something down on Main Street here in town. And they have a food section, and they have a bunch of chips there.
Yeah,
and you
they're weird.
always find the oddest flavored chips there.
Yeah, you
And now and then
do.
you run into the ketchup. But I have seen the hot dog and ketchup flavored chip at that location. I've actually bought them before.
I've seen that they have all those weird. I've never been brave enough to want to try them.
Oh, see, I've tried off-colored ones. My
Really?
favorite is still salt and pepper. Just a good salt and pepper crispy chip.
When Pete and I were down in Virginia, we're in a shop that we're not. We're used to frequenting, but they carry different things regionally.
Yes.
And he and I were up and down the chip aisle just looking for something different that we don't have in our area.
We did. We grabbed something for the way home.
What did you find?
What did I do? I did something.
Those jalapeno things.
Yeah, there was some kind of jalapeno chip or something.
Yeah,
or-
some type of jalapeno corn chip or something like that.
Yeah.
And he goes through a third of the bag on the highway, and he turns to me and he's like, Kenny, I need you to help me pour my Mountain Dew. I'm on fire here. I've been going 75 miles an hour down the highway.
That's the truth. Can't say I didn't do that. Yeah.
I did take a crack at finding my cheese waffles down there at that time, and they didn't have them, but luckily they showed back up locally.
Cheese waffles?
Cheese
I haven't
waffles.
seen those in a while. Yeah.
Cheese waffles. I've been looking for them for a year, and they showed up at the market downtown about 2 weeks ago, and they were still like $2, and I bought like half a dozen bags. They're like awesome, man.
They're from Wise.
Foodies and preservatives. Ken's a good mix.
I'm all over the place. And, I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, flavors are fun.
Yeah.
Everything in moderation, I suppose, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
if we end up with spikes growing out of our heads and 3 more eyes, we'll know why. We've been eating too much stuff.
Well,
That's okay.
maybe all this stuff is the reason why I'm twisted in the head. I am the loose cannon at this radio station. Maybe that's why. We certainly
Now we
know why.
John. Now we know.
We certainly know why I have.
Lead him down the path, please. Fix him.
Oh boy.
We
Can you
certainly
fix
know
it?
why I have the gut here.
That's true. I resemble that remark.
Food is life. Food is life.
I therapy eat. That's what happens.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it doesn't always have to be good for me. It could be 2 punchkis in a row. I don't care.
Notice he hasn't cried over the punchkis today, though. That's the first time we've heard it.
Well, he's substituting with other things.
We haven't heard the intervention yet, so we're good. You're good. We're moving on, aren't we?
She's going to hate herself for bringing that up.
Uh-oh.
Maybe I'll have to address that after the break. It's 9:15 and a half.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business for the Greater Westfield communities. Informing, educating, advocating, the Chamber provides opportunities for members to make meaningful connections on local, regional, and state levels. For more information on the Chamber's many events, workshops, and programs, as well as the benefits of membership, visit westfieldbiz.org. The Chamber focuses on the most important economy, yours.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut shops of Westfield and the Sardina family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' coffee remains the same. at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
They say living in Los Santos is the equivalent of smoking a pack a day. If that's the case, then I want a choice in the matter. So I chose Redwood.
I used to sell my body for drug money on the streets. Now I've cleaned up and have a wife and go to church. And I owe it all to Redwood cigarettes.
Sometimes when I get really stressed out, I beat my children with anything I can lay my hands on. Since I tried Redwoods, I find a way to relax 20 or 30 times a day. I know it's bad for me, but what's more important, me or my children?
Stress kills millions of people each year and causes divorces, automobile accidents, and even war. When stress is about to get you, get a Redwood. Redwood Cigarettes. Proud sponsor of the LS City Marathon.
921 WSKB, brought to you by Redwood Cigarettes. They're better than stress.
Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? So we did have a question for you. Here it is.
Oh.
Since you are the expert here, what is your favorite comfort food? Do you have a favorite? Maybe you don't.
Comfort foods is pretty momentary.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
But I definitely enjoy like a good homemade meatloaf with mashed potatoes and gravy, and a common vegetable. Simple good cooking. As far as what makes a comfort food for me. But also a great baked mac and cheese is right up there too.
Yeah, I'm in there with you.
Yeah.
I love the cold meatloaf sandwiches.
Oh yeah.
With ketchup though.
I cook my meatloaf. See, ketchup where I would use it as an ingredient, but not as a condiment. I would cover it with ketchup and cook my meatloaf, but then it dehydrates and picks up a different flavor, and it becomes something else. It's not like just squirting the ketchup on the meatloaf.
All my life growing up here, and I make it this way because my mom made it this way. It's maybe not necessarily ketchup on the top, but tomato paste.
Same.
And then I went to one place and had the brown gravy on the meatloaf, and I'm like, you know what, this isn't all that bad.
Right.
and then it was Atlanta, where it was red sauce.
Oh, interesting.
It was very interesting.
Tomato sauce?
Like a stuffed pepper filling almost.
Yeah.
I could see
kinda,
that.
yeah.
My mom always made the with the bacon on the top and then the ketchup, and you cooked it till the ketchup and the bacon became like a thing on top of the meatloaf.
Yeah.
Have you ever actually wrapped an entire meatloaf with
Yes,
bacon?
even in a restaurant-sized ones for big buffets, like huge whole hotel pans wrapped in like a whole case of bacon with meatloaf in the middle.
Oh, that's to die for. Have you ever had that, Pete?
Yes, I have.
Sounds good.
Have you gone so far as to stuff the meatloaf with cheese when you've done that?
I've done that once.
I have yet to try this.
That's way better than a Juicy Lucy, by the way.
Another one would put stuffing in there, like meat stuffing inside your meatloaf, like as a separate, like so you get like meat with a meat stuffing in the middle.
Like a meat loken.
Yeah.
I hear that you can smoke a meatloaf, and I heard that's really
absolutely.
good too.
Yeah,
So I gotta try that.
There's a traveling smoker guy, on the side of the road up Route 116 or something like that. I've seen him a few times. He does moink balls.
Yeah, I know that.
Which is beef and pork meatballs wrapped in bacon and then slow smoked.
Scotty Bissell does those when they do the stuff over at the Amelia Park Ice Arena.
Yeah, those are
Moinks.
delicious and
I'll bet. I love meatloaf.
I'm kind of feeling bad for some of our listeners who haven't had breakfast yet.
Like me?
No, I haven't either.
What do you think about Salisbury steak, like mini meatloafs? I do that. We just did that at the house.
Yeah, they're not bad.
And then you cook it, you bread them, and then fry them a little
bit,
and then cook them in the gravy until
I never
they simmer.
quite made the gravy right.
The gravy, it's simmering the breaded patty into like the brothiness that becomes the gravy as it cooks down that last step.
Right. Yeah. I've tried to mimic it by doing a real, like a heavy duty onion with beef gravy, and cook that down. That comes close.
But you have to cook the meat in that. It's like a two-step process. You cook the patties till they're just about done, and then slow cook it in the oven with the gravy, and then the gravy changes because the meat absorbs it, and the flavors go both ways.
Now and then I will cheat, and I will just get some cube steak and chop up some onions and just toss that in the pan. And when it's halfway done, I take a 49-cent packet of brown gravy mix and just add it to the pot.
So we do that with hamburger at my house. We just call it hamburger and gravy, and we serve it over rice and mashed potatoes.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's what my kids like.
Yeah, actually, it tastes pretty good.
For my kids.
Yeah, no, it does, and that's a quick way to do it. It's a kind of shortcut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was never taught that way. I moved out in late 80s, and that's just something I came up with, and it just stuck with me.
The cool thing,
it didn't suck.
Right.
If you look at that discount store, sometimes you can find the beef gravy in like a 1 pound size like plastic container, so you can just take it out by the tablespoon, so you can just use as much as you need for each day.
Like taco seasoning. You can buy big ones of those, too.
I hadn't seen the brown gravy one until professionally a few years ago, though, so that's all. It's kind of handy at the house.
And I bet you can order that on Amazon, too.
You know what I would love to be able
Groceries delivered.
You know what I'd love to be able to come across at the supermarket level? Like beef base.
Some of them do. Some of the ones here in town have the base in the refrigerated cooler.
Oh, really?
Yep. Usually the Miners brand is the one that's more commercially available.
Huh. I'm going to have to keep an eye out for that, because that stuff can really, just a little dollop of it can change.
Well, versus the bouillon cube. The bouillon cube is dried, and it's got a higher concentration of salt. So if you're using the base, the pasty kind, you can use less, and it's not quite as salty. I mean, it's still salty. But
yeah, I haven't used the cubes in ages. I have used the powdered bouillon.
I get the powdered, too.
Yeah.
But we take the cube and rub it against the grater if we don't need a whole cube.
Let's see, 827. I have other things to talk about in the food magazine, and it might be interesting, but I don't want to get started with like 2 minutes left to go. So what I want to do, Pete, is I want to go into a break a couple minutes early. Okay. And then we'll get back to what some of the hot ingredients are this year. We'll be right back.
Provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. Visit on the web at baystatedental.com. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
You're listening to Ken's Den with Ken Stonsky.
Class is in session. It's Westfield historian extraordinaire Kathy Palmer.
89.5 WSKB.
I don't know about the extraordinaire, but here we are this morning, folks, and it's winter. Well, you wouldn't know it from the weather outside, would you? Because it's going to be what tomorrow?
We're challenging a record today. 62 is the record.
And did
we're
I
challenging
hear?
it. Woohoo!
We may break it today.
What about tomorrow?
Yeah.
High of 71 tomorrow.
I heard about that. I might have.
And then we're
to,
back in the 40s.
I might have to get out of my office for a bit tomorrow.
And walk out in the sunshine. It's funny to have this weather, but honestly, my daughter was born in the April snowstorm, so it's not over yet, folks.
Oh, I know.
It's not over.
81?
Hey.
Yeah.
I recall.
82.
82.
Born in 82 in that April snowstorm.
I recall the 97 April Fool's snowstorm because I was working for the Weather Channel.
Yep.
Doing live shots. I don't know.
I remember the 82 storm because I was a walker to Prospect Hill.
Aha.
And at that time, the DPW was on strike. Do you remember that?
That winter.
Yeah,
yes,
so
they stopped at 4 o'clock.
The roads were not plowed for half a week. We were out of school for most of the week because of that.
We were, and the ruts and the DPW went on strike, and what they didn't do is they didn't work overtime. So at 4 o'clock, they stopped. And I'll tell you, I was working at Southampton Road. Getting up that clay hill was interesting. Mm-hmm. Back in those days, we didn't have the four-wheel drive that we have today and all-wheel drive. So it was different. But going back in history, back when I was a young'un, back in the stagecoach days. Well, no, it wasn't quite that far
Chuck wagon?
back. Chuck wagon. Yeah, that's when we were clearing the roads by dragging logs with the horses down the road. Or you didn't.
An oxen. Huh?
An oxen. Or you didn't clear the roads at all because people didn't care. You got where you needed to go.
And gentlemen wore suits and had those one-piece eyeglasses and said, "Good day, sir."
They Well, we were talking about the clothes. I was chatting with Ken online last night, and I said what I hated when I was a kid in the winter, and you guys cannot appreciate this, is trying to stuff, because we were wearing dresses, and we were wearing crinoline. And the idea then, back in their days in the 50s, was to get the skirt to stick out as far as you could. So sometimes you were wearing the crinolines were those stiff slips that we wore underneath. And sometimes you wore 2 and 3 of them. And you had to stuff those into the ski pants. It was awful. We waddled like a duck because you had to stuff it in. You couldn't wear pants when I was a kid to school. You couldn't wear slacks. You couldn't wear jeans. You had to wear dresses. So you stuffed them in. It was not fun. It was not fun. Not at all.
I'm picturing that younger brother on the Christmas Story now.
Yeah. It was kind of like those days. But anyway, going back to the 50s, I remember.
But after you got those ski pants on,
then you had to get the.
What was it, the galoshes?
The galoshes. You know what galoshes are?
I wore those at the beginning few years of elementary.
And I think they probably still have them. The boots with all the buckles going up the front.
Yeah.
And they never really buckled right. And they were always full of ice and snow and trying to get them on and off. Oh, dear heavenly days. God help me. It was not fun. But we went out anyway. We played outside all day. Did you guys play outside all day when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Do they?
Oh God, yes.
Oh God, yeah.
On a snow day, we went over. Our friends live a couple streets over. The kids we really grew up with. So we go over there. They come over here. You do whatever. You just play till it was
Now,
dark.
where did you go sliding when you were a kid?
There was a small hill at Kylie.
Okay.
We went. The Cathedral Hill was big.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Forest Park.
And what about you?
Oh, you know where I went.
Oh, Franconia
I
too.
do know where you went.
Franconia had a nice one.
Did you go to the high school? Well, the tech. Where? No. Do people even know where that is now? Prospect Street. Yep.
Blocks.
To keep people from where am I looking at?
Back of Sadie Knox.
Okay, yeah, but where are the blocks that you're talking about?
They're right behind the baseball field.
Oh, okay.
Right behind. I think it was over further though. Yeah, up over there on the side, right in there.
Scroll that way, Pete.
We're looking at the map, folks.
Yeah.
We're looking at the map.
Move up. Move up.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Go further up Prospect Street. Go
Suicide
further.
Hill was right about here.
Yeah, it was down through
Yeah,
the
it
woods.
was right there.
Down through the woods.
Through the woods.
And
yes, and any parent who knew that was in cardiac arrest.
And it didn't matter if you were in a flexible flyer or a toboggan or whatever. You would go down that hill like the Dickens.
Looks like somebody's got a cool BMX track next door to Sadie Knox in their backyard.
What that is.
Visible from space.
Gotta love the Googlers.
That was a big place. The
Nice
other big
track.
place was the front of the academy now, what we used to call the old high school, Smith Avenue. Everybody.
That's where my kids go now. They love that. Yeah.
Yep,
That's great.
love that hill.
There was also another place up on the hill at the end of Crown Street, the dead end sign, dead end
I know
side,
you are.
which
Yep.
would go down to the railroad tracks.
Yep. Oh, another good place. To
Yeah.
start. Yeah. Good.
You know, we were Northside kids. We were tough. We could handle it.
We had a hill out behind my house that went down through the trees, unbeknownst to Mom. And my children, they love to tell me this now, that both of my daughters are grown. They love to tell me what they did. Yeah. They said, "Didn't you know that, Mom?" And it's all trees. And they said, "Well, that was the fun of it. Was trying to go around and dodge the trees."
Yeah, I pulled that with my old man every now and then. I go, "Dad, do you really know? Do you realize?" He goes, "Yeah, I knew."
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't. And skating. Did you skate? Did you guys skate when you were young? John, were you a skater?
No.
No skating? What about you?
I did roller skating twice a week.
Roller skating.
Yeah.
Did you have to wind it up with the key?
Hit it. Oh, you gotta find it?
Yeah. I remember having roller skates with keys. I don't know what I did with them, but I remember having them. They were the ones that they fit on your shoe. I still have a pair down cellar.
Oh no, I had
the Melanie song.
Yeah.
I had real Rydell uppers with competition trucks. Yeah, I was big time back then.
And you
I
skated.
had a pair
Did
of
you do
skates,
dance?
but I didn't.
Dance skating?
I could. Yeah, actually. Yeah, I got fancy sideways, backwards, twists.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard him talking about watching the Olympics this morning. So
Aha.
Yeah. I tried ice skating though. Can't do it. You figure you're good. You're really awesome roller skate, and I was really good. Can't even stand up on ice skates.
We used to skate down at the
Squamish had a nice skate.
I'll bet they did.
Rink.
We used to flood. The city used to actually flood
Municipal.
different rinks in Westfield. They flooded Municipal. They flooded Southampton Road for a while. It was out front on the road where the playground is. And there were 2 rinks down at Municipal.
The one behind the stands?
There was the big one, but then
'Cause
they had
Ron
a
Ricks was
hockey-
talking about that.
They had a hockey rink, too. We weren't allowed on the hockey rink, but they had a hockey rink over in the corner. And then they would open. I hated it, guys. It was so cold. I could never see being really cold. I never could get that part.
She grew up in New England, folks.
I know. And then we flooded our own yards. My dad always flooded our yards, and all the neighborhood kids would come
Ice
over.
is slippery, hard, and dangerous, though, so I imagine it became a liability issue why that's not so prevalent anymore.
Well, that and just having to pay people to do it, because you'd have to do it at night, so it would all be overtime. I don't know if it was then, if that was an issue, but and maintenance, maintaining it, and you're right, liability is a big issue
Today,
too.
I think that's where
we also
some of
used
those things
to
went away.
Yeah.
We
A lot of things have gone away because of that.
We used to skate up at Stanley Park. When I was a kid, that pond was there, but they didn't have any of those buildings. Nothing was there. It was only just a pond and like a swamp, and we'd skate up there. My mother would never let me go. My brother could go, but I couldn't go.
You're depressing me, Kathy.
I was too little. They wouldn't let me.
You were little?
I was little at one. Well, I know. I didn't get much bigger now, did I?
9:44 and a half. We'll be back right after this.
KB is provided by the Press Room, a community coffee and snack cafe right in the heart of Westfield's Gaslight District. The news of the day always includes a steaming cup of coffee or tea, donuts, bagels, pastry, and other delectable treats at the Press Room. Open weekdays 7 to 5, Saturdays and Sundays 7 to noon. The Press Room, 62 School Street, Westfield.
Underwriting for community radio is provided by the YMCA of Greater Westfield. Every day, the YMCA strengthens the community through programs and services focused on youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. For all the Y's many programs and services, visit us on the web at www.westfieldymca.org. The YMCA, 67 Court Street in downtown Westfield. We're more than a gym. We're a cause. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Thursday morning from 6 till 8, it's Patrick Berry, owner of the Westfield News Group.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
9:49. We're nearing the end of the den, Ken's Den. We got some things accomplished this morning. We talked about Korean food. We talked about world flavors. We talked about sliding down Suicide Hill and getting beat up by the bull down at the bottom of the field. What else did we cover?
Comfort foods.
Comfort foods.
Big Brother.
Big Brother.
Condiments.
Yeah.
Condiments.
Yeah, we covered a lot.
Mm-hmm. We actually almost stayed on topic today, Ken.
Almost.
We did well without the shiny things.
Yeah. Chef John didn't share much of his past experiences with sledding and whatnot. It was just basically me talking about the bull down at the bottom of the field. I feel kind of bad. I feel I took some microphone time away from John.
Oh gosh. Well, I enjoyed sledding as a child as well. I grew up in Chicopee, so we had like Zott Park and places.
Oh yeah, Zott Park. Yeah.
And then my children started to grow up. We lived in the hill towns out in Middlefield, so we had coming down from the railroad tracks a path with one tree that you had to make sure you missed or you crashed. And they loved that. That was always a lot of fun. I still enjoy sledding with the kids to this day.
So during break, we were actually talking about what's going to happen next month already, and I'm trying to think of ideas. I'm wondering, what's Chef going to do for Mass Appeal, which is the second
Thursday of the month.
The second Thursday of the month, Mass Appeal Channel 22. We don't know. Actually, he doesn't even know what he's going to cover yet. But then Kathy turns around and says corned beef, and we're like, okay, so Chef will be here for Thanksgiving. Not Thanksgiving. St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day. I'm looking to find a calendar here because I know St. Patrick's Day is on a Saturday this year because it's my birthday.
It's my anniversary too.
Oh,
is
really?
It St. Patrick's Day?
Yep.
So where the heck is my calendar? Here it is. My calendar is here. March 17th will be before your visit here.
Cool.
That's okay.
You will be here on the 20th. But we'll still talk about how corned beef and cabbage is not Irish.
Sure, we can talk about what to do with the leftover corned beef.
We'll cover that. Outside of making some killer hash, which is usually what I do with mine if I have any leftovers. We're going to talk about that next month. I also found the great Chinese takeout food quiz because we used to do quizzes here. And we've done these quizzes for about 2 years now.
I know, yeah. And I always fail abysmally.
And you do miserable on them. And I think I've slaughtered everyone in the past.
Yes.
Now I have competition. I want to see how close I can come with a professional to some of these food quizzes.
Well, I mean, when it comes to takeout food, I might be at a disadvantage.
but it's Chinese takeout. Everybody knows what Chinese takeout is. Chow mein, lo mein, General Tso.
Right. Yeah. They're standard American. What we call standard American Chinese food is what we pretty much refer to.
Exactly. This is Americanized Chinese food that we have here. It comes out of New York City. It's where it was created.
The Vietnamese or the Korean, those are more like the food you would actually get in China. What we talk about now, they're more close to the roots of their heritage than what we eat as Asian takeout food here in America.
Yeah. You find a Thai restaurant, that's real Thai food for the most part. But I remember, and I remembered it. Now it went out of my mind. And now I'm trying to, poof. I'm trying to remember it again. Oh yeah, Chinese food. It's Americanized, but I remember one time I was down in Orlando, actually, and I think I might have ordered something similar to General Tso's, but it wasn't quite General Tso's. And the waiter was like, normal broccoli or Chinese broccoli. I go, Chinese broccoli. He goes, really? And it was totally awesome. They actually had the real legit vegetables and the way of preparing that they actually would in China.
The proper ingredients.
Than down in Chinatown in New York City.
Right.
And it was a nice surprise. It was. I actually enjoyed it better than the Americanized version.
I imagine.
Yeah, how it was intended.
Yeah.
Spicy, right?
Mm-hmm. And I hear so many different stories about who exactly General Tso is. He existed, but there's been several different stories, depending on whether you're Cantonese or Sichuan or Hunan is another. Yeah.
As far as foods named after people, I don't know anything about General Tso, but I knew the beef Wellington story about.
Oh, you know the Wellington story. Oh, let's hear it.
All right, share.
Oh, beef Wellington, the classic dish of a beef tenderloin, and it's coated with a mush of mushrooms and onions called the duxelle, and it's spread with a liver pate, and then wrapped in puff pastry and baked in the oven. Well, this beef Wellington.
And it's difficult to cook properly.
Well, to get it to come out rare in the middle, you have to know all the tricks to bake the pastry and not have the meat overcooked. However, the dish is long and cylindrical, and when you Wellington's is a famous name of boots or something like that. And
I know that Chef Gordon Ramsay has made it popular.
Right. Well, so anyway, with the boots and the Wellington was a general. And anyway, when you cut the beef Wellington in half, it looks, he lost his leg, I believe, and it looks like, so you've got the red in the middle, and then you've got the layer of pate like a sock, and then you've got the layer of duxelle like the second sock, and then you've got the crust on the outside like a boot. So it's kind of a similar thing. With so it's, sometimes you'll see them decorated as a boot as a joke.
I've never have.
Yeah, but it's kind of the layer
that's
of
the boot that Paddington wears. If you think of the Paddington Bear, those are Wellingtons.
Oh, yeah. So that's anyway. So famous person, dish named after, had to do with the boot and the leg, and when the dish kind of looks kind of gross, but kind of,
I get it. I get it.
And it's absolutely delicious.
I kind of thought that we were going after the tenderloin part as being just the beef marrow, but in this case, is the entire leg. Right?
Yeah. It's, like the bloody stump.
Okay, we did not need to know that one, but that's all right. Let's go back to Paddington.
6 in the morning. I want to thank our guest, Chef John Slattery, for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having me here today. You can find anything that I'm up to online at chefjohnslattery.com. I'm also doing some public events at Shaker Farms on Friday nights, and Sunday mornings we're doing breakfast as well. And catch me on Mass Appeal next week. It's always fun to be here. Thanks a lot for having me today, Ken.
All right, thanks for coming in. Kathy, thanks for waking up.
I will be back.
You will be back.
I will be back.
You will be back next week because we are going to be playing we're going to have a special broadcast. This is going to be a 50s and 60s television broadcast.
Aha.
All right, we're going to be going over theme songs from the 50s and 60s. JPEG Luca is going to come in here. This is like the 7th or 8th time we've done a show similar to this. We started like 3 years ago, just on the whim. What are we going to do? And it turned into this. So that is next week. 2 weeks from now, Counselors Beltrandi and Figgy will be in the studio. 3 weeks from now, we do have a remote from Westfield Technical Academy. Superintendent Zaporowski will be my guest co-host, but my weekly co-host is still welcome to come down because we will always make room for Kathy Palmer.
I just want
make sure you keep reminding Bob.
Yes, we'll have to remind Bob. And 4 weeks from now, Chef John is back in the studio. Peter, thanks for pushing buttons over there. I want to thank my listeners and viewers for tuning in and giving up 2 hours of your life that you're never going to get back. That's about all the time I have for now. I'll catch you next week.
Sally up, I bring Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground.